Today we are talking all about split stays at Walt Disney World hotels. I'm going to be sharing some helpful tips, some do's, some don'ts, and I'm really glad you're here. What is up, you guys? My name is Bekah, and if you are new to the channel, I would love for you to click that subscribe button. I share all things Disney, a little bit of mom life, and I've got some Disney vlogs coming up in the future. So I would love for you to stick around and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Okay, let's start with what is a split stay and why you should consider it for your Disney vacation. So personally, I love split stays, and the reason being, you get to experience more than one resort in one vacation. So it kind of makes your vacation feel like a 2-in-1 in a way, a little bit. Basically, you start your vacation at one resort and you switch at some point to another resort. And Disney actually makes this really simple. So I'm gonna share some tips on how to really maximize this, and again, why you should consider this for your Disney vacation. My first tip when doing a split stay is to start with the lower tiered hotel and switch and go to the higher tiered hotel from there. Meaning it's not very much fun to start your vacation at the Grand Floridian for 4 nights. You have this amazing experience, this luxurious stay, and then you switch and move over to Pop Century. You are more likely to find more flaws and maybe not enjoy your time as much as you would at Pop Century if you had started there. So start your vacation at the value resort or the moderate resort, and then work your way up from there. That way you have that wow factor when you are ending your vacation on this amazing note, and you are less likely to find the shortcomings of a hotel because you started with the higher tiered resort, if that makes sense. So start with lower tiered and then work your way up at the end of your trip. My second tip for split stays is to coordinate your park days according to which resort you're gonna be at. So if you know that you're gonna be in the Magic Kingdom area, try not to plan your Epcot or Hollywood Studio days for that first part of your trip. Try to get in all of your Magic Kingdom time at that resort. And then maybe you're switching for the second half of your trip to the beach club. Then that would be a great opportunity to plan your Epcot and Hollywood Studio days. So that is what I recommend. I just think it makes the most sense to try to coordinate that with your resorts. That way you're not doing a lot of back and forth, and then you're able to take advantage of the transportation perks that come along with that specific resort. So that would be my second tip. Coordinate your parks accordingly. My next tip is to purchase your tickets for the entire length of your stay with your first reservation. So instead of splitting up your tickets and having 2 separate packages, you're actually gonna save a little bit of money if you go ahead and buy the 8-day ticket with your 4-night stay instead of buying 2 4-night packages with tickets, if that makes sense. So you're just gonna save a little bit of extra money if you buy the 8-day ticket as compared to 2 4-day ticket packages. So that's just a little hack if you want to save a little bit on tickets. Just go ahead and add on those extra days for the entire length of your stay with that first reservation, and then when your second reservation comes up, it's just a room-only package, no tickets included, because you've already factored in all of your tickets to the first half of your stay. All right, moving on, let's talk about luggage transfer, because this is a big one, right? You think, all right, well, checkout is at 11 a.m. and then what do we do with our luggage? I'm ready to have my luggage in the room right upon check-in. Is it reliable? So here's the deal with luggage transfer. It is so simple. We have used luggage transfer on one split stay, and Disney made it so easy. We were moving from Animal Kingdom Lodge over to the Polynesian, and it was our Magic Kingdom day, so we dropped our luggage off when we left for our park, and we waited for our text for our room while we were walking around the Magic Kingdom. I believe we got our text around 3 or 4 o'clock, the normal check-in time, and we went and found our room. Our luggage wasn't quite there yet, so we called down to Bell Services, and within about an hour, we had our luggage up in our room. And again, so simple. I will add though, Disney does all of their luggage transfers midday. So you can expect to receive your luggage around that 4 or 5 o'clock window. I wouldn't expect your luggage any sooner than that, just because they do have that transfer window midday, and it's gonna take them a few hours from there. So just keep that in mind. If there is something out of your luggage that you are going to need before 4 or 5 p.m., go ahead and put that into your park bag or your purse, your backpack, whatever you have for the day, and then don't expect to have your luggage until that time frame. Especially if you have little ones, make sure that you are all packed up with whatever they need and that you do not need anything out of your luggage before 5 p.m. Go ahead and just count on 5 p.m. and that will make sure that you are prepared for the day and you have everything you need out of your luggage and that you're not put in a bind waiting for your luggage and you don't have it. So just go ahead and expect it at 5 p.m. The next thing I want to talk about is kind of a hack that we discovered, and this doesn't apply currently, but I have a feeling it's going to apply very soon, and that is for the Disney dining plan. So like that one split stay that I mentioned, we did our first 4 nights at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then we did our last night at the Polynesian. What we did with the dining plan was we actually purchased that for our Animal Kingdom Lodge stay, but we did not purchase the dining plan for our Polynesian night. So basically, we only had 4 days worth of dining plan credits, but because your dining plan credits actually roll into your checkout day and they expire at midnight, we were able to continue using our dining plan credits the entire last day of our trip, including our Polynesian day. So we almost got to extend out our credits a little bit longer and make the most out of those credits. So for a 5-day trip, we had 4 days worth of credits, and it ended up being the perfect amount of food for our 5-day trip. So just a little hack: when the dining plan comes back, which I think it will, keep that in mind for a split stay. You do not have to purchase the dining plan for both portions of your resort stay. You can choose to just add it to the first or the second half of your stay, and that way you're able to experience the dining plan for just a few days as compared to the full length of your vacation. So just a little hack I wanted to throw in there. Okay, and the last thing that I want to talk about with split stays, this is actually the biggest question that I get with split stays, and it has to do with babies and toddlers. It is a lot to travel with little ones, right? I mean, you've unpacked all of their things. You have their sleeping arrangement set up just the right way. You have maybe their food in the fridge, and all of their toys are everywhere. So it's a lot. And that's the question I get, right? Is it worth the hassle of switching resorts just to experience something new, especially when you have little ones that are even napping? How does that work? So here's the deal. We did a split stay with our 10-month-old. We spent our last night at a different resort, and I will say it really wasn't that much of a hassle. We tend to be pretty organized when we are in a hotel room to begin with. We don't necessarily unpack everything into dressers and, drawers, and like we keep everything pretty much in our suitcases. So it's really just taking everything from the bathroom and then putting it into our suitcase. And then we always travel with a little cooler, so anything that was in our refrigerator, we just toss in our little cooler, and I mean, we're pretty much good to go for the day. And so then we can go off to the park, to Disney Springs, whatever our plans are for the day. And then hopefully the ideal Disney day would be that we get an early check-in. But if not, then I'm just gonna find a place to stroll around and let our little one nap in the stroller. And our experience with this, I mean, it really wasn't a big hassle. Now, I will say, if your little one is dependent on a nap in a pack and play, in a dark room with a sound machine, if they have to have that environment to nap during the middle of the day, and that naps in the strollers, in the car, it's not gonna work for your family, then a split stay may not be the right thing, because you won't have access to your room middle of the day. You're kind of homeless in a sense for a few hours while you're waiting for your room to be ready. So that is just one thing to keep in mind. If you have a really flexible toddler or baby that can nap on the go, then I think that this is a great option. But again, if you have to have that structure where your little one is napping in a pack and play, in a cool dark room, just go ahead and count on you won't have access to that type of environment middle of the day until your check-in window opens, or fingers crossed if you get an early check-in, which we always request an early check-in, but we never count on it. So keep that in mind. All right, those are all of my tips and hacks when it comes to planning a split stay at Disney World hotels. Let me know in the comments down below if you have ever done a split stay. What was your experience? What questions do you have? I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.